Today we're going to talk about reconciling your bank statement. You have your check register where you wrote down everything that happened in your account. And then the bank keeps track of everything that they have recorded. And so those two are not the same because of various reasons. So we're going to walk through what we do to reconcile our bank statement. Step number one, you can see that I have already done, and that is to go through and to compare your check register to the bank statement and put a check mark by the item that is on both documents. So this $37 is on both, so I check mark it. $30 is on both, I check mark it. $100 is on both, check mark it. I get down here and I see that this $30.57 is not over here on the check register. That's a debit card at the airport gift shop. I forgot to write it down on my check register, so I circle that. Here's a check that I wrote. The bank hasn't gotten it yet. I wrote it to a college as deposit on my dorm room. They haven't cashed it yet. They probably won't cash it till next fall when I go to college. And so that's not showing up on the bank statement. So I circle that. This $25 is over there. This $250 deposit is there. So I look at every item. You can see there are 3 items here that were not on the bank statement, so I circled them. Turned out there were 3 items on the bank statement that weren't on my check register. That one I forgot to record, and then this share dividend, that's the interest I earned this month. And then I have a $3 fee because I used my ATM at an out-of-network machine. And so they charged me $3 for that, so I have to circle it because it's not on both. So step number one, compare the 2 documents, check mark what's on both, circle what is not on both. With step number 2, what we have to do is we have to add the missing items to the check register. So I look at my check register. One of the missing items, the first missing item here, was that ATM machine at the airport. So I've got to take $30.57 out of my account. So I'm going to write that down. The debit card at the airport, $30.57. Figure my new balance. Next thing I see is that interest. Oh, I need to add that interest to my account. So I'm going to take my dividend and I'm going to add that, put it in the deposit column because they're adding that to my account. I figure my new balance. And then I have the $3 fee for being out of network. So I'm going to take this ATM fee and I am going to put it in the deduction column, subtract it out. So now my new balance in my check register is $581.02. The next step is to complete the form that the bank sends me. The bank sends you a form when you get your bank statement, and that form looks like this. Now, every bank has a different looking form, so it may not look exactly like this, but it's got the same kind of things on it. The first thing it asks is the balance on the bank statement. When I look at the bank statement down at the bottom, it gives me 2 different balances. My balance at the beginning of the month and then my balance at the end of the month. I write down the ending balance on the bank statement. So I record that number. Then it says, deposits not on the bank statement. How can I tell if they were not on the bank statement? If they're not on the bank statement, that means they're on the check register, and I circled it because it was not showing on the bank statement. So I look in the deposit column and I see I have one on 4/30 for 1206.78. So I'm going to write that down on 4/30, 1206.78. That was the only one I had. So it says total deposits from above. So I'm going to add that up. That's pretty easy to add. And then it says deposit subtotal. Total deposits plus the balance on the bank statement. So I'm going to take this number plus this number to get this. And then this number gets put down here because I use that number again. Next section, checks written or withdrawals not on the bank statement. If they're not on the bank statement, I circled them here. So I have 2 checks that were not on the bank statement. One for $350 on the 18th and one for $715 on the 30th. So I have to write those down. On the 18th, I had $350. On the 30th, I have $715. And those were the only 2 that were missing. So, next line, total withdrawals from above. Up here, the total withdrawals, I add those 2 together, I get $1,065. To find my ending balance, I take this minus this. and I get $581.02. If I did things correctly, this number will match the new balance in my check register. So when I look at my check register, I have an ending balance of 581.02. 581.02, I did things correctly. So my books are now in balance. Follow those steps exactly, and you will bring your checkbook up to date.